dating a Korean man, not to think too much about marriage. I would love to date Gyopo. I wouldn't refuse the girl if she wants to hurry. Thank you very much. Girls with many tattoos is complex. Some men, they don't care. And some men, they love it. Korean American men would be perfect match for most of our viewers. But we have more to offer. Okay, welcome back to podcast. I got an email from Jane. She is Korean American. Before I got this the last email, we did exchange a few emails, so I could ask her some questions, and then this is the last one, and I'm gonna read it for you. Hello, my name is Jane, and I live in Korea. I'm a Korean born in the United States, Korean American from Cali. I am in my late 20s and have landed a job at a good company in Korea. It's the same company where Cheolwon worked, though I think the subsidiaries are probably different. I majored in product design, so luckily I am working in Seoul, not in a rural area. One part I really resonate with that Cheolwon mentioned is how after getting a job, I started receiving an overwhelming number of blind date requests. Actually, this part is quite absurd and disappointed me by how material things are important to local Korean people. Not just men, but also women. As soon as I got a job at LG, so many local Koreans wanted to set me up blind dates. But again, even after going on those dates, the results weren't that great. I'll talk more about this later. When I first moved to Korea, I wasn't very good at makeup or fashion, and I heard comments about it a few times, such as like 촌스럽다, like Gyopo style is out of date, not very fashionable, fat, chubby, and so on. At first, these comments were very hurtful, but now I think my style is decent enough not to be called out for dressing in a rural, outdated way. My makeup style has also changed a lot, and I have lost a significant amount of weight. Actually, when I was doing my master's in Korea, I was often told I was overweight. By the way, I speak Korean well. Writing is a bit awkward, but I am good at listening, speaking, and reading. I did my master's in Korea for 3 years, including an internship, and I had a few relationships with local Korean men, which helped me improve my Korean. Living in Korea as a Korean American was difficult at first. When I was exchanging emails with Cheolwon, he mentioned several times that being a Korean American is an advantage, but I often felt the opposite, which made me somewhat sad. However, I do understand why being a Korean American can be an advantage. Actually, I didn't contact you just to share these big concerns. I was surprised to see many foreign women wanting to meet Korean men after watching Cheolwon's YouTube videos. I also felt confused when I first came to Korea, being a foreigner, yet somewhat blending in as Korean. I thought I would share some of my experiences. Korean people, and of course my parents are Korean, definitely have their own space. I've been excluded multiple times, so I know this well. Because I have US passport and speak English well, I often received better treatment than others. Even when my Korean was not as good. Now that I've gotten a job at LG, it feels like I've grown wings. Another big advantage is that there's a chance I'll be sent to the US for 2 or 3 years in the future. I might even end up working for LG in the US for good. These aspects can be both an advantage and a disadvantage when dating Korean men. I can elaborate the pros and cons later. Many Koreans proudly talk about their country, but deep down, they also have a dislike for Korea and Koreans. I felt this deeply while dating and having serious conversations with my boyfriends. Cholwon also mentioned he agrees with this. So, when dating a Korean man, I recommend you not to think too much about marriage. At least, don't have the illusion that because you love your Korean boyfriend so much and everything seems perfect, you will get a yes if you propose. Korean people want to maintain their racial purity. So even if they date a beautiful foreigner, they might betray you later. They might not include you in their family either. Foreign women should keep this in mind. In the US, it's common to sleep with someone by the third date, but some Korean men, especially those who have dated foreign women or overseas Koreans, tended to exploit this. When Cholwon mentioned that he usually sleeps with a girl after a month or more, or after 5 or more dates, I thought he must be either very old or extremely Korean. After observing various episodes, I'm sure Cholwon is not a conservative person, so maybe he's just very old. Anyway, when I first came to Korea, among the men I dated, the ones who had been with foreign women or overseas Koreans often subtly pressured me into bed by the third date, assuming it was something I would naturally agree to. This really bothered me, so please keep this in mind. I have many tattoos on my body. Before getting a job, I kept them hidden. And even now, after working at LG for over 2 years, I usually wear long sleeves in the summer. So my bosses don't notice them. Also, since my job rarely requires me to meet with external companies, it hasn't caused major issues. However, Korean society generally dislikes tattoos. When people see someone with many tattoos, they tend to assume that their private life is wild, that they would sleep around, and that they might also be open to casual intimacy. Many Korean men approach women lightly because they think there might be an opportunity for sleeping together. Especially when dating, as I explained earlier, Korean men don't seem to mind tattoos as much when they are just looking for a relationship. So I ended up getting more tattoos while living in Korea. However, when the relationship deepens or when marriage is mentioned, many start to make an issue of the tattoos. They might say things like, if you have kids, people will point at you because of your tattoo, or I cannot introduce you to my parents because of your tattoos. I'm currently single. Honestly, I wish I could meet someone like Cholwon. Cholwon turned me down. The reason I'm still single is that I feel like most Korean men only want to date me for fun. And in most cases, my feeling turned out to be right. Of course, I could also date men just for fun, but after having a few bad relationships with Korean men like Cholwon with his Korean exes, I've become very hesitant. If I get a transfer to the US, I think I will try a serious relationship with Korean Americans or un-Americans, regardless of race. I don't plan to get married, and I'm okay with living alone in Korea for a long time. But if I do get married, I'd like to meet someone who doesn't have a conservative mindset. And that seems nearly impossible here. Otherwise, I will look for a marriage partner in the US. I'm often surprised by how many foreign women are interested in Korean men. My father, who lives in the US, he is often shocked as well. However, I want to share that meeting a Korean man might not be as easy for foreign women with different skin tones. Taiwan might seem a bit unique, but as a Korean who has lived in Korea for a long time, I think he still has some conservative sides. When I see him through YouTube, not looking for women, I realize he also has some typical Korean traits. Also, among the Korean students who studied abroad, I've seen many who are much more conservative than the average Korean man. Just because someone studied abroad doesn't mean they have an open or flexible mindset. There are many Koreans who studied in the US for over 10 years, but still can't speak English and are super conservative. Make sure to evaluate the person well before getting involved. Korea is a place with so many diverse people, so it's hard to generalize. In that way, Korea is quite similar to the US. It's just that in Korea, they mostly have the same skin tones. Ha ha ha. I hope many women who watch this channel are careful when they come to Korea or meet Korean men so they won't get hurt. Thank you. Sincerely, Jane from California. So Jane and I, we exchanged a few emails. We got her permission to share her story because it includes a lot of personal stories.
Do you think do Korean guys really like to date Kyopo women?
I would love to date Kyopo because I'm not Korean value-wise. Because I also spent some time in England. So I think I would be better match, probably. And the Gyopos I've met, although I haven't dated them, they seemed quite upfront and very honest. And also, there must be something that we click as Korean as well. So I would love to, but I didn't have an opportunity. I've met like female Gyopo, but we didn't really click like that. Just we're mutual friends. Right. So Gyopos are hybrid in a good way. That's what I expect at least. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But although I haven't met many Gyopos, in parties and social events, I think the atmosphere of their household matters a lot. Like if their parents are super conservative, then maybe they're different. I don't know. Long time ago, there was a series of articles written by Korean Americans in, I think it was LA Times. And I read them all because my foreign ex at the time, she recommended to read. And the common thing I found, not from every article, but few articles written by different couples, they say that there's a confusion between like inside of their house and outside the world, which is America. So two values are so different. Let's say our parents' generation or generation above, like grandparents' generation, let's say that they migrated to US and like 2 generations above, Korean society was very conservative, very, very closed-minded people. It was full of closed-minded people. And then they moved to the US. And then they're stuck with old Korean values, which is very conservative. But Korean society has been evolved so fast. So Korean Americans who moved there long time ago, like 20 years ago, 40 years ago, then they have this some kind of stuck-up mind. They still have that. And then on the other hand, in Korea now, it's so different. So their kids are stuck in the middle, right? And before even visiting Korea, they go through this conservative mindset and they go to school and mingle with American students, and they're so different. And then they visit, usually when they're old, they come and visit, right? Like in their uni, like 19 and 20, they come and see what Korea is like, or they come as like exchange students. This society is also very different to their parents' mindset. So it's very confusing for them. Very good point. Yeah. This is why they are very fascinating.
가장 희한했던 점은 세 번째 만남 때 잠자리를 한다는 이런 내용이 있었던 것 같은데 들으신 적 있으신가요?
Well, after third date, sleeping together is expected according to her email, and it was very new to me too, because I usually take like 5 at least, and some girls they still wouldn't let me do anything after fifth date, and my fifth date is not really a rule. I just see how it goes. I don't think a lot of Korean men expect to sleep together after third date. I think it seems quite early to me. My generation, at least, is very early. 3 dates is so little. Yeah, you gotta spend a lot more money than that. Get to know them at least for a month. At least. Sometimes it took me a lot longer than a month. A lot longer. But I think Korean men would take their time. But at least dating Korean girls, we don't hurry like that. But younger people, I'm not sure.
근데 그런 거 있는 것 같아요. 뭔가 술자리에서 만나거나 이렇게 인스턴트 만남으로 해서 사귀는 경우도 있잖아요. 그런 경우에는 시작부터 잠자리를 하고 뭐 교제를 하는 경우도 있지만 그게 아니라 그냥 뭐 직장에서 만났거나 아니면 어떤 뭐 친구 통해서 이렇게 알았던 사람을 그렇게 말씀하셨듯이 평판 때문에도 그렇게 쉽게 하지 못하고
Good point.
네, 조심스러운 것 같아요.
Good point. So if you meet this guy at the bar or soju place, 포장마차 and all that, then sleeping together would happen a lot earlier than like 5 dates. But again, because of the reputation, we want to look good on the outside. And there's a mutual friends, and if you do something stupid, your reputation will get hurt. Then we are very careful. We wouldn't push any girls to sleep together that early. Yeah, it depends on individual. It's quite different. My favorite part of this email is the last part. Korea is a place with so many diverse people, so it's hard to generalize. In that way, Korea is quite similar to the US. This is my favorite part. Because I often say that I think it was the comment session. One of the most common mistake people make is America is one entity and they want to generalize. Even when I was talking about my accent, someone pointed out there's no such a thing as American accent because America is so diverse. So Korea is the same. Like after 5 dates, 8 dates, 3 dates, it all depends on the individual. Yeah, and also I have slept with someone before 5th date. It depends on the girl as well. I wouldn't refuse the girl if she wants to hurry. Men are men, and I'm one of them. Yeah, so it's like, oh, okay, thank you. Let's go. Yeah, men wouldn't refuse. Thank you very much. I'm gonna open the door for you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna pay for the hotel. Anyway, so it depends. It depends on individual. Being a gyopo must be quite an experience, I think, in my opinion, because that I always have this image that they're stuck in the middle, but they could be hybrid in a good way. See what I mean? They could be like a muscular but run really fast. That's a hybrid athlete, right? So they can be like they can have like this more understanding, accepting mindset, and being polite and care for others. That's like that Asian values. They could have both. So that's my fantasy, not the dirty fantasy, but like their mindset. It must be really. I don't know. Like there's this thing. There's a void in Korean society. There's a void in America. Then they pick up the good things. They become a better individual. That's my fantasy about gyopos. So I'd love to date them, but never had an opportunity. And I had a lot of fun exchanging emails. Yeah. Okay, so it's a true story. True story. From elementary school I went in Korea. So there's a girl in my class who was quite smart. Apparently she went to quite good uni in Korea. And she didn't want to get a job. and her family is quite well off, but not rich enough to live alone and not working. But they're quite well off, but she doesn't want to because she spends more than she would make. So her mom came up with the idea. Why don't you do the English test? So there's an English test created by SNU. So her mom suggested her to take the test. Why did she want her daughter to study that? Because she could study in the library of SNU. Her goal was clear. Find a gyopo, exchange student, whatever. Find a gyopo and start dating him and marry him. And she did.
And
escaped Korea, and now she's living in the US. True story. But she's quite pretty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, quite pretty. But she's smart too. It's just that she didn't want to work. Yeah, very smart though. 타투는 저는 얘기를 많이 하셨어요. Okay, tattoo is complex issue. Because I do have quite a lot of tattoos. In my back, big ass tattoo too. Girls with many tattoos is complex. It's complex. Some men, they don't care. And some men, they love it. And a lot of men, they hate it. If you're covered, for most local men, I think it's no. If you're a girl and have a lot of tattoos, then they assume that you're wild. That's quite common. I don't think it's a Korean thing. But again, they would approach you to just date. But Korean society, in general, we don't like tattoos. And I only got like these tattoos where my tattoos are exposed only after I was sure I'm not gonna work 9 to 5 anymore. When I was 9 to 5, I had tattoos here, like 9 to 5 tattoo. My friends said it's a 직장인 tattoo. the tattoos that will be never shown in the office. Personally, I don't mind. But like, I don't know, fingers a bit too much, neck too much, face, no, please no. But here, I prefer not covered. Like sleeve is a bit too much. But I don't mind. It's just tattoo. And when we die together with my tattoo. The part I found interesting is she got more tattoos in Korea. Because in Korea, tattoo is very cheap. Very good quality. So she got a lot of tattoos in Korea.
나쁘게 보거나 그런 건 없는데 타투한 여자를 좀 섹시하긴 한 것 같아요. 개인적으로 어떻게 생각하세요?
David thinks girls with tattoos are more attractive than girls without tattoos. I think for me, it depends. If tattoos has if it suits her, then I like it. And then if it doesn't suit her, then no.
디테일하네요. 여기서 일단 똑같이 매력적인 여자가 있는데 걔가 타투도 있다. 더 섹시할 것 같아요.
If same answer. 그렇지 않아요? Same answer. If the attractive girl looks good with a tattoo, there's some girls they don't look good with tattoos at all. And also, what type of tattoos she has. I don't like a scribble style. Yeah, very important. They have like a scribble style, like a graffiti style, like 5-year-old, like a young girl drew something, like with a charcoal, that kind of stuff. I'm not interested. Also, I'm not a big fan of color tattoos. All of mine is just black and white. The color tattoos I'm not very into. Yeah. Like sweet tattoos, cute tattoos I'm not very into. Yeah.
그러면 어떤 여자가 막 상상을 한다면은 잠자리에 가는 여자가 어떤 타투 갖고 있으면은 난 이런 타투 있는 여자가 좋은 것 같다.
Okay, so when I see a person, like a man or woman, if that person has a lot of tattoos, right, then I much prefer that person dressed up very neatly. Like a lot of tattoos, and I prefer the dude wearing suit or sweater. And if someone has a lot of tattoos and dress up like a bit too much, and it's too busy, the visual is too much. See what I mean? So
bleach hair.
Yeah. A lot of piercings and a lot of tattoos are a bit too much. And you wear like something, I don't know, something too busy, too colorful. I was like, I don't know where to look. So, but if you don't have a lot of tattoos, if you don't have a tattoo and you can do whatever you want with your hair, like very colorful hair is fine. But and on top of that, you have a lot of tattoos and you dress in a very unique way. Too much. Unmatching is the keyword, right? Like erase me on white girl, I like that. Erase me on black girl, I like it. Erase me on Asian girl, it's a little bit too much. It's expected because it's Japanese.
I don't mind anyone with the erase me.
Oh, you don't like?
I don't mind.
You don't mind? Oh, you like it?
Yeah, anyone.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah. And also, I don't like so many little tattoos. Small ones, no. If you have small tattoos, like 2 or 3, then no mas.
What about
no
letters?
More. Letters, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. I have one, but that's it.
여자친구가 나 타투 하나 하고 싶어. 그럼 어떤 걸 권할 것 같아요?
But if my girlfriend wants one, then I would recommend something meaningless, which is quite opposite to many Koreans. I don't know what non-Korean people think about like first tattoo, because Koreans, they always say that you gotta do something very meaningful. I would recommend something meaningless. So even if you don't like it later, it doesn't mean anything to you.
사실 외국 여성들이 한국인 남자 또는 아시아인 남자들과 교제를 하고 싶은데 문화 차이 때문에 좀 어려움을 겪잖아요. 교포를 만나면, 그러니까 아시아인의 외모에 그런 마인드나 사상과 문화가 미국이나 유럽에 있는 사람을 만나면, 교포를 만나면 좀 더 데이트하기가 좀 더 좋을까요?
Very good question. Very good question. I think 교포, like Korean American men, would be perfect match for most of our viewers. Yeah, because so from all the gyopos I've met, mostly they work out, so they're well built, which is preferred in Western countries. So they are usually bigger, taller, like stronger, thicker, like in a good way than local Korean men, because they always train, right? And then they have this Western value. They are not stuck-ups. From what I've met, like the older gyopos I've met, they are very open-minded, more understanding, and upfront. And they don't lie. They don't lie to get in your pants. They were very honest.
But Jane said in this email, 한국인 남자를 만날 때 조심해야 된다는 얘기를 했었어요.
Right.
그에 대해서는 어떻게 생각하세요?
I think it's related to how I described the Korean American men, because they were very upfront. But as we talked about one of our first episodes, Korean men are not very upfront, and they act innocent until they get what they want, and then ghost. I haven't discussed this with the Korean American men, but I don't think they would ghost as much as local Korean men, because they grew up in the US. They probably have less of the fetish towards white women and black women, because they grew up together in the same country. But so I assume they would have less of that, or don't have it at all. I think if you're a foreign girl, dating Korean American would be a very good option. Like Korean born in Europe, Korean born in America would be a very good option. I mean, at least you guys speak the same language.
근데 그런 면도 있을 것 같아요. 그러니까 외국 여성들이 아시아인의 어떤 외향적인 모습 때문에 끌림을 느끼는 것도 있겠지만 한국의 한국 남자의 정서, K-드라마에서 본 그 정서 때문에 한국 남자들을 좋아하실 거란 말이죠. 교포들이 그런 감성을 가질 수 있어요. 제공해 줄 수 있을까요?
That's complex. I don't think 교포 Korean American men would have the same attitude. Like more caring, more caring and thoughtful. Because local Korean men are, I think that we are more thoughtful and we're more caring when it comes to dating. 알잘딱갈센. So we are used to that. So Koreans are local Korean men are ready. They can provide everything for their loving girlfriend. I think Korean American men would have less of that, because they're more European or westernized culturally. Yeah, because that's a good thing about local Korean men, right? They are used to doing a lot of things for their girlfriends. I think it's a good thing. And as David asked, I don't think Korean American men would have that value, that attitude we have, because I learned it hard way, and how to speak to Korean girls. Did I gain weight? Oh no, you haven't. All that kind of stuff. I am used to Korean girls as well now. I know how to speak to them. I know what they like, which is why I'm not dating because I have to be ready. But a lot of Korean men, they are ready to treat their girls right. Yeah. But I'm not saying Korean American men would be a bad choice, but we have more to offer attitude-wise, I think. Yeah, that's what you see in K-drama, right? We have a bit more of that compared to Koreans born in Western countries. For sure. Yeah. That's one guy's opinion, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I might be wrong, but I'm always right. No, just kidding. Yeah. The reason why we introduced this email is because it's a bit complex. And it gave us opportunity to think about ourselves compared to Korean Americans, men and women. Overall, I think Jane has a very good insight about Korean society. So if you want to share your experience living in Korea, dating Korean people, or questions, please send them over. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye.